Okay, I'm going to be calling the meeting to order. And we're going to start off with our city clerk, Heidi Riojas, reading the remote meeting instructions.
Pursuant to Governor Inslee's emergency proclamation regarding suspending certain provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act during the COVID-19 outbreak, the Toppenish City Council will not accept in-person public comments. All members of the public wanting to comment on City Council agenda items may submit written comments to include your name and address for the record in advance by email to cityclerk@cityoftoppenish.us by 4 p.m. on November 23rd, 2020 to be read during the meeting. Call-in information for listen-only mode is 253-215-8782, meeting ID 873-9942-1189, passcode 568701. Email the city clerk at cityoftoppenish.us or call 509-865-6754 with questions.
Great, thank you very much. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Heidi Riojas, our city clerk, will do the roll call.
Mayor Oaks. Mayor Pro Tem Saavedra.
Here.
Councilmember Belton.
Here.
Councilmember Seha.
Here.
Councilmember Duvall.
Here.
Councilmember Garcia.
Here.
Councilmember Jimenez.
Present.
Let the record show we do have a quorum and Mayor Oaks is absent.
Mayor Oaks called earlier. He's feeling under the weather and he predicted he would not be at tonight's meeting.
So I make a motion to go ahead and excuse Mayor Oaks from tonight's meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Jimenez and seconded by Councilman Garcia to excuse Mayor Oaks from the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
I make a motion to approve tonight's agenda in its entirety.
I'll second that.
Great, there is a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Jimenez and seconded by Councilwoman Duvall to approve the agenda in its entirety. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. We are going to go ahead and move to the consent agenda. All matters on the consent agenda have been provided to each council member for review and are considered to be routine or have been previously discussed and will be adopted by one motion and vote without discussion. However, if a council member desires any item on this agenda will be discussed before any action is taken on it.
Excuse me.
Yes?
We do need to address the item advanced public comments received by 4 p.m. on November 23rd, 2020 to be read by staff at the meeting. Let the record show the city did not receive any written comments by the deadline stated.
Thank you for that. Thank you for mentioning that, Heidi. I appreciate it. Consent agenda A, approve minutes of the November 9th, 2020 regular council meeting. Consent agenda B, approve minutes of the November 16, 2020 council meeting or special meeting, sorry. C, approve payroll checks number 35104 through 35113 and electronic transfers in the total amount of $208,081.18 dated November the 20th, 2020. D, approve claims check number 92856 through 92917 and electronic transfers in the total amount of $238,322.44 dated November 23rd, 2020. I will entertain a motion.
I motion to approve consent agenda A through D.
There is a motion. Can I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Great. We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Duval and seconded by Councilmember
Garcia.
Garcia.
Garcia. Thank you. Any discussion? I was gonna say Councilman George. No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We're going to go ahead and move on to the public hearings and Heidi Riojas.
All members of the public wanting to express their opinions to comment during the public hearings may submit written comments to include your name and address for the record in advance by email to cityclerk@cityoftopanish.us by 4 p.m. on November 23rd, 2020, to be read by staff during the public hearings. Call-in information for listen-only mode is 253-215-8782, meeting ID 873-9942-1189, passcode 568701. Email cityclerk@cityoftopanish.us or call 509-865-6754 with questions.
Great. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing at 7:07. Item A, public hearing regarding the 2021 preliminary budget, receive staff presentation and public comments on proposed 2021 preliminary budget. And with us, our finance director, Debbie Zabel.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Tonight we'll be having 2 of our 3 required public hearings for the budget process. And although it may not feel like it to you, it has gone by pretty quickly for being a short budget cycle that we've had. So the first public hearing we're going to have is on the 2021 preliminary budget. And the statutes of the state of Washington do require that we hold a public hearing on the preliminary budget to allow for any citizens to make comment on the preliminary budget. The preliminary budget does set forth the complete financial program for the city, and it does show all the expenditures and the revenues that will be used to finance the programs. And it does depict everything by their sources, meaning that for the 21 projected revenues, the budget includes a beginning fund balance of $14,600,766, taxes in the amount of $5,193,877, licenses and permits $96,850, intergovernmental revenues, which is $1,419,681, charges for goods and services, which is a very large amount, but that includes our water, sewer treatment, sewer collection, and garbage collection at $6,870,000, $6,870,116. And all 3 of the utilities include the utility rates that council approved in 2019 for 2020, 2021, and 2022. And each one of those are a 4% rate increase. Fines and forfeitures in the amount of $92,340. Miscellaneous revenues in the amount of $178,635. Non-revenues, $63,500, and other financing, which is loans that we'll be receiving throughout the year, in the amount of $8,621,205, for a grand total of revenues of $37,136,970. For our projected expenditures, we are projecting ending fund balances of $9,172,804. And just as a reminder, we will be spending $4.2 million of ending fund balance for the public works shop that we have been saving up for that construction. So it looks like we're spending a lot of fund balance, but it is the big majority of that is going towards the shop. Salaries and wages for all city employees is $3,866,461. Benefits and personnel costs is $1,915,745. Supplies, $456,810. And services, which again is providing for water, sewer, and garbage is the big chunk of that, is $7,151,196. Capital projects that we have this year, which include the construction of the public works shop, the citywide sewer project, and a $1.4 million water meter replacement program, is $11,625,090. Debt service, which is the loans, principal and interest that we pay for debt service for loans that we have on our projects, is $1,414,210. Non-expenditures, $150, and transfers out to from either the general fund to other supporting funds or from the water and sewer funds into their respective capital project funds of $1,534,504, for a grand total of expenditures of $37,136,970. The proposed budget does have a decrease over the 2020 budget. And it sounds kind of funny, but we also have an increase with our capital budgets, just because we have such a large and aggressive capital program going on right now. But what's very important is our general fund budget. It has only a 3% increase over last year's budget, which is very good. So the city's complete proposed 2021 budget, along with the summary, which I'm hoping everyone was able to have a chance to look at. So at this point, all council needs to do for any type of action is to receive any public input regarding the 2021 budget.
Great.
Any questions regarding the budget? The next step we have would be to do our next public hearing, and then we would be adopting the budget at our next council meeting.
Okay.
So if
Have
there are
there
no
been-
questions, we need to close this public hearing.
So were there any public comments, Heidi?
Let the record show the city did not receive any written comments for this public hearing.
Great. And I take it there's no comments from the council? Okay, I'm going to close this public hearing at 7:14. We're moving on to public hearing B. And I'm going to open public hearing B at 7:14. Public hearing regarding 2021 tax levy and revenues. Receive staff presentation and public comments on proposed tax levy. And Lance, are you speaking or is Debbie speaking?
We will defer to the Administrative Services Director, Debbie Zabel.
Thank you.
So good evening, council. Again, we are having our second public hearing tonight, and this public hearing is on the proposed revenue sources and the proposed 2021 property tax levy. We are by RCW required to hold a public hearing, which would allow the citizens to make any comment to council regarding any increases in property taxes. And as stated in the previous public hearing, which I won't go through again, we listed our projected revenues. And the projected revenues are $37,136,970. And for our property tax, which City Clerk Riojas has attached the memo that was submitted to councils for the viewing public, the property tax is one of the city's primary sources of funding for our general services, primarily our police and fire services. And upon council's approval tonight, after the public hearing, will be an ordinance to approve the 1% increase to the property tax that will be collected in 2021. Washington State does limit the amount that can be raised for property tax to 1% of a property's true and fair value. And the table number 1, which is the little colored chart, it does show the $10 limit, which is referred to by most folks that the 1%, the maximum that can be charged is $10 unless there is an excess levy that voters vote on for that. And so the $10 is split up between the state, local governments, and other smaller taxing jurisdictions. Table 2 shows what the actual taxes were on properties in the specific dollar amount valuations of 75,000, 100,000, 125,000, 150, and 175. And the last year's levy rate was $2.72. And with that, of a $75,000 home, the city received $3.81. And then you can see below that all the other items that property owners are taxed on with their property tax. So on page 3, we talk about how we come up with our taxes and how they are levied through the help of the county. And every year, the county does do a assessment of the entire city, and we get notification of what the total assessed value of the city is. And for 2020, the assessor's office has determined that the total valuation for the city went from, which is $356,255,958. And that was an increase from the previous year. And excuse me, and that's due to new construction and any new increases in valuation for homes. And we did receive notice from the county that we did not receive any refund levies, so we will not be able to add that to our taxes this year. When the assessed valuation increases, the amount of money that needs to be collected per property owner actually decreases. So this year's property tax for 2021 will actually go from $2.72 from last year to $2.51 for next year, because there's more valuation for that dollar per every $1,000 valuation to be received from. Does that make sense to everyone? If there's any questions, please.
Can you restate that for me, Debbie?
So the total valuation of the city.
Mhm,
So there's a calculation right in the middle of the page.
mhm.
And so last year, our total taxes that we collected, I have it on here somewhere, was $883,198.86.
Mhm,
So we can only increase the property taxes by 1%.
mhm.
So 1% is $8,831.99. So that's how much we would add to what we collected last year. So that 800 and this year, 895,212, which is last year's 883 plus next year's 8,800 is going to be divided amongst the brand new assessment of 356 million. So the number that amount's going to go into increases, so the amount that folks have to pay decreases because there's more assessed valuation. If our assessed valuation were to go down, then the people's individual tax levy rate would go up because that would mean we didn't have enough money to collect from because their valuations were going down.
Right. Okay. Okay, thank you.
So Debbie, what I hear you say is our property that we've been paying
Mhm.
went up. Therefore, the city will collect less because our property is valued at more.
Almost. So if your house valuation went up $50,000. So if it was $100,000 and you paid 1% for property tax, that would be $100. Is that right? Or $10? Anyways, but then if your valuation goes up, then you have that same $100 is, oh, how am I going to say this? That same $100 is going to be less because your valuation is 150,000, not 100,000.
Mhm. But so technically, then the increase wouldn't be shown until the following year. Is that correct?
On next year's
then-
taxes, when you get your
Right.
tax statement next year, the city's tax rate is going to go down from the
Mhm.
272 to $2.51 per 1,000 valuation.
Yeah. But later on, it should get applied to the 150,000, the new rate, right? Or the new value of the home.
Right, so the city will collect $895,212,
Mhm.
but it will be, each taxpayer will pay less money for the city's taxes. So on table 3, it does show the $2.51 and how that is multiplied and assessed against a $75,000 valuation home, which will go from $203.81 last year to $188.46 this year.
Mhm. Okay.
It's good to know it's going to go down.
It is going to go down.
Thank you.
Do we have any further questions? Heidi, do we have any comments from the public?
Let the record show the city did not receive any written comments by the stated deadline.
In that case, I'm going to close the public meeting at 7:23. We will continue and move on to new business. New business A. AB 20-055, ordinance 2020-13, ad valorem taxes for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll defer to Administrative Services Director Zabel.
So thank you, Council. As we heard in the 2 public hearings that we had, the projected property tax increase with the 1% is $8,831.99, which brings the property tax to be collected for 2021 to $895,212.40. It does also allow for any new construction improvements that would happen throughout the year. And at this time, it's $3,181 that would be added to that. And staff recommends that council adopt ordinance 2013 authorizing the increase of the 2021 property tax by 1%. Are there any questions?
No. I will,
So the money for this goes towards like capital projects,
No, this is all general fund money,
general fund money.
Yep.
Okay.
any further questions? I will entertain a motion.
So then I move to adopt ordinance 2020-13, authorizing the monies raised by ad valorem taxes to finance the municipal operations of the city to be raised by 1%.
Can I hear a second?
Second.
Great, we have a motion from Councilwoman Duval and seconded by Councilwoman Jimenez to adopt ordinance or to adopt AB 20-055 ordinance 2020-13 ad valorem taxes for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. And we will move on to new business B. Lance?
Thank you, Mayor. Before you, you have resolution 2020-55 related to the City of Toppenish Shoreline Master Program, which is a set of local land use policies and regulations that guide development and use on the city shorelines. City of Toppenish Shoreline Management Plan applies to both public and private uses on the Yakima River, and it's associated with wetlands and floodway within the City of Toppenish. We have a very small amount of shoreline to the north by Highway 22 on the way out of town, a very small amount. So every 8 years, we're required to update our shoreline management plan in our review. And this year, it's to be completed no later than June 30th, 2021. If council remembers, we came to council last January and talked about the shoreline management program. We struck an agreement with YV-COG, and I think Jeff Watson's on here if we have any questions for him, to go forward and help us with the review and the public processes related to the shoreline management program. And then also they helped assisted us with filling out and submitting the Department of Ecology Shoreline Master Program grant process that we had. We were successful in the ecology grant process and received $16,800, and we approved that agreement or that contract with ecology back in August, I think, or September, right at that time zone. So now we're getting ready to start the process. Well, we kind of anticipate that to bring amendments and any filings that we need to do to the Planning Commission. We plan to do at that time, we'll probably do that in late winter, early spring of 2020. The Planning Commission will hold a public hearing on the proposal before making a recommendation to City Council. City Council will then accept that recommendation or hold a public hearing of their own. And those are options, but not required. We'll probably bring that, the Planning Commission's final recommendation to council for approval in May of 2020, prior to the June 30th deadline. Financial impact to the city, basically none, because we got a $16,800 grant from Department of Ecology to cover those costs. We have an agreement with YV-COG to complete and comply with the process. And so I guess we're looking for a recommendation to approve Resolution 2025, adopting the public presentation plan for the Shoreline Master Program update to remain compliant with state laws and local comprehensive plan. And if we have any questions, Jeff Watson, I think, is on here somewhere. Oh, no, Lynn Dietrich is. So there we are.
So I don't have a question, but this is more like for the viewing public, and that is, this isn't something we want to do because we don't really have a shoreline. This is state requirements or mandates, and we're lucky this year that we have a grant, so it's not coming out of our coffers this year. So good thing for us, and if that's what the state wants, we'll go ahead and do it because it's their money.
Right.
So
And
you have
it-
anything to
it's an 8-year requirement for renewal, and it keeps us in compliance with growth management and our comprehensive plan updates. We have many comprehensive plans that we continually update. So, Lynn, is there anything that needs to be added to that?
No, I think just clarification that this is the public participation element of that shoreline master plan update. And so every jurisdiction, every city, every county has to have a public participation plan. But because of COVID, it's going to be a little more unique, probably not face to face. So we'll do the best we can to get through this and meet the intent and the RCWs and the WACs of Washington to be compliant.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion to adopt AB 20-056, Resolution 2020-55, Plan for Public Participation for the updates to the Shoreline Master Plan.
So moved.
second.
Point of order, I think it's 2020-56.
Sorry, yes, AB 2020-056.
But it is resolution 2020-55 that we're voting on.
Yes, yes.
So, and I move to approve resolution 2020-55.
I
Yeah.
second that one.
Okay, sorry about
Oh.
that.
Yep. So we have a motion on the floor by Council Member Belton and seconded by Councilwoman Jimenez to adopt Resolution 2020-55, Plan for Public Participation for the updates to the Shoreline Master Plan. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, it has passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Well-
Lynn.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn.
We're moving on to new business C with Lance.
Okay, AB 2057 refers to resolution 2020-56, and it speaks to the addition of a tariff and sales tax on change order number 9 for the sewer improvement project, and we have Public Works Superintendent Rocky Wallace to talk about that, I think.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Council approved change order number 9 during the September 14th, 2020 regular council meeting. Change order number 9 included moving the Dayton Avenue improvements from the 2018 Safe Routes to School project to the sewer improvements project phase 4, and approving $9,877 from the 170 Housing Rehabilitation Fund to complete the Dayton Avenue improvements. During the review of progress estimate number 9 for Schedule C, it was discovered that tariff and sales tax were not included in change order number 9. The taro and sales tax are now due in the amount of $6,730.17. Staff is requesting to pay the amount due from the 170 fund, which is the same fund that we paid the $9,877 for change order number 9 from. The recommendation is to approve resolution 2020-56, authorizing the city manager to submit payment for the taro and sales tax for change order number 9. Are there any questions?
Who is the person responsible for that one?
It was an oversight by the engineers, but ultimately in the review of it, I should have caught that when we took change order number 9 to council. I didn't until I was reviewing the progress estimate number 9.
What kind of effect is it having on the budget?
There's no effect. We put the additional $6,730.17 into the preliminary budget that you have reviewed.
Okay, that's what I assumed, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Any further discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve AB 20-057, Resolution 2020-56 to approve payment of taro and sales tax for change order number 9 for sewer improvements project.
So moved.
And I'll second that.
Great. There is a motion on the floor by Councilman Belton and seconded by Councilwoman Duval to approve resolution 2020-56, approve payment for taro and sales tax for change order number 9 for sewer improvement projects. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to D of new business, Lance.
Thank you. This is item number D, refers to the utility customer relief grant program that we asked council about at the last meeting. The city of Toppenish had approximately $20,000 of CARES Act money remaining. And so we asked council, and with council's approval, we put it into an account to pay off delinquent utility bills. So I believe Marley Bethune, our accounting manager, is on the line also. Oh, there she is.
Good evening, guys. So as you guys know, we had about 124 accounts that have been delinquent from March 1st through September 30th. So on November 17th, about midday, we were able to get out all of the applications to all of those customers affected. Of the 124 applications that were hand delivered, we were able to get 121 of them out. 3 of them were returned because of vacant properties or the property was locked. And the applications were due by 5 p.m. on November 20th. Of the applications that we received, there was a total of 21 that came back with all of the requested documentation. So it was either a 2019 tax return or a printout from the Employment Security Department showing that they were currently unemployed. The total amount for that 21 applications that we received was $12,406.60. I know you guys had some difficulty reviewing the spreadsheet that Lance had sent out to you, so I can share my screen if you guys would like to go over that Excel spreadsheet, if that would be easier for you.
Yes, can you please do that?
Sure.
They're going to have people's names on it.
It does not.
Okay.
So this is the utility grant relief application spreadsheet that I created. The applications that we received were broken up into 3 separate categories. So category 1 here is this yellow, and it's going to be the applications that we received with the correct documentation, whether that was a 2019 tax return or a printout from Employment Security Department. So as you can see, the total amount for those utility customers is this number here, the $12,406.60. The second category that I have on the spreadsheet, one second here. Oops. Is this second category, green one. So these are applicants that turned in their application. However, they did not submit the documentation as requested on the application. So they didn't submit the 2019 tax return or an ESD printout, but they did provide supporting documentation in other forms, whether that was a Social Security letter of current benefits, or we even received a referral from, DSHS saying that one of the residents was qualified for utility assistance or rent assistance. So that category of applications that we received amounted to the $2,450.12. And then the remaining section, so the last few applications that we received that just have any type of documentation is this section here. I haven't noted on what we received, and a lot of it was just a handwritten note on the application. So we don't have any type of supporting documentation to show what type of income that they have to say that they qualify for low income.
Well, I understand that the green part, though they did submit something, it does look like it's pretty legit to me. I mean, it was coming
Yes.
from Washington State. So to me, the green would be included with the yellow or whatever that was above. Because they did, I mean, that to me, that's from the state of Washington and Social Security stuff. So to me, if it's green, it would be the same as whatever was above.
Right, and I just wanted to bring that before council just because on the application, we specified 2 types of documents. And since we didn't get either of those, it was kind of not something that I wanted to say qualified until it was brought to you guys.
Right. So I'm just speaking personally for me. To me, that would qualify. The ones below in that peach color would not, in my mind, would not qualify, but
Sure.
the green would, in my mind.
Were the people in the green section given an opportunity, or have they, given an opportunity to provide the other documentation that was being requested?
So I personally called when I was receiving the applications in. If I noticed that they didn't provide a 2019 tax return or the ESD printout, I was calling each applicant and letting them know we needed some type of confirmation of what their income was. A lot of them are on Social Security benefits, so they aren't filing tax returns. So I just advised them to send in the best thing that they could provide to us so that I could bring it before council.
Okay. And the people in the green are needing to be approved for the funding? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, that would be what we would suggest, that they get approved because they do have some type of documentation, but it just wasn't the specific documentation that we requested.
Okay.
So to recap, staff's recommendation is to accept the yellow for group of 21 residents that applicated for a total of $12,406.60, and the green, which was the second group of 6 for $2,450.12 for a grand total of $14,856.72, and not approve the red or the 7 that didn't turn in the appropriate documentation. We have to have the appropriate documentation for qualification to the auditor that we dispense these funds in a true and faithful manner. And that, we have a list now, and if we have more money in the future, we could add those people to the list. They could have time at that time to get more information, or maybe the requirements might lessen at that time.
Will there be any funds left over after the people in the yellow section be approved?
It looks like there's going to be about 8,000 left. We still need to figure out if we can turn in any other city expenses to use those dollars up.
Okay,
But we started with 20,000 in the fund, so
Right.
we've got plenty there for the two categories we're dealing with.
Yes.
I would be willing to make a motion to go ahead and accept the yellow and the green applicants for the utility grant relief applications, but not approve the peach color applications.
I'll second that.
great. We have a motion on the floor to approve the yellow and the green section and not the peach section applicants for the funding by Councilwoman Jimenez and seconded by Councilman Garcia. Any further discussion? Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Great, motion passes.
I'd like to thank County Manager Mallory Bethune for setting this program and administrating it for us. We appreciate all the time and effort she put into that. Thanks,
Thank
Mallory.
you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. It was very thorough. She did a nice job.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, I really appreciate the spreadsheets. It's easier to see and understand. Thank you so much for that.
Also want to thank the visitors, as I know you had a short window and they had to go personally deliver each of the applications. So I thank them as well.
Great, we're gonna go ahead and move on to council meeting reports and community announcements. We're gonna start with Councilman Belton.
I have nothing to report.
Great, Councilman Ceja.
Nothing to report.
Great, Councilwoman Duval.
I do have something to report. As you know, we are going to be having an extreme weather shelter for the homeless in our community. And I have taken on the day to provide dinners on Sundays. So if anybody is willing to take over a Sunday from now until March, you can reach out to me. My number is Nyla.Duval. I'm sorry, my email is Nyla.Duval@cityoftopanish.us. We can collaborate and get that done, and I can give you more information then. Thank you.
Great, Councilman Garcia,
Nothing to report.
Councilwoman Jimenez.
I don't have anything to report. I do have a question though. I had it on my calendar that on Saturday was supposed to be the lighted parade, the Christmas lighted parade. Is that a goal or has it been canceled?
That has been canceled. However, some lighted parade people may show up and they may just drive through the town. But
Okay,
the city of Toppenish canceled theirs. I think city of Sunnyside also. And but still, the people that go the effort to make those lighted parade implements up, they'll be out driving around.
Are we still going to have the lighted tree at the post office park?
Yes, Public Works is out this week getting the Christmas ornament, or excuse me, the seasonal banners, our lighted Christmas displays are up and working. They'll be out there making sure all the bulbs work for the next couple days. And the tree will also be lit and come on a timer.
Great, thank you.
Oh, thanks Public Works for doing that. It's a lot of lights to fix.
Yeah.
Yes.
that's all I had. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Clara. Awesome. Yes, I was driving by as I was coming to City Hall today and saw the Christmas lights displays. I just love to see that. It puts a smile on my face, and I really do hope they come through the Christmas parade. People come through. I love to see that big Coke truck and just come to it. The kids love it. So I get so excited when I see that. And I think it's just a nice way to remind people that although we're going through some difficult times as a community, there is still, you can still find things to smile about and to just remember of all your blessings and, you know, everything good in your life. So not focusing so much on all the terrible stuff going on, but that's all that I have to say about that.
Yeah.
We are going to move on to the city manager's report.
Oh, thank you, Mayor and Council. I'd like to give an update on the extreme weather shelter. I visited with Mike Kay, the director of Camp Hope, today to get the best update I could get from him. The shelter is planned to open the first week of December. Thank Yakima Valley Farm Workers for donating that extreme weather shelter building again this year. Last year, they gave the shelter half the building. This year, they're giving the full building. They've got to move some stuff out of there that's in storage, and then it'll be available. That will help with compliance for the bed spacing for the COVID issues that they have. The plan is to have approximately 50 beds. I think that's how many they had last year. They'll have 4 to 5 in certain spots for isolation if they would have a COVID concern. The building will comply as they did last year with all the issues. That's part of the issue. They have to get rid of all the stuff that's in storage, put the beds in, and create a barrier between the beds. So it's some type of a PVC and shower curtain like places there to stop any droplets that might happen. And as Council Member Duval shared that Sunrise Outreach, Pastor Dave Hansen has organized the meal schedule for the season. Yakima County has contributed $40,000 for the operation of the camp. Camp Hope is picking up another $3,500 monthly for their liability insurance that needs to happen. Janice Howe from Yakima Nation is supposed to visit with Yakima Nation Tribal Council the first part of this week. Hopefully they can help with some financial support. Camp Hope is hired and is training staff to man the shelter. They're trying to also use train people from the Yakima Nation Village of Hope that ran last year, and they're training them now on the Camp Hope rules. Let's see, Camp Hope was in town this last weekend and supplied homeless meals to approximately 109 people in Toppenish and 23 in Wapato. Noah's Ark is presently closed, and it's in the progress of some building modifications, and hopefully it'll reopen sooner than later, pretty quick. So that's kind of the update on the extreme weather shelter. It's supposed to start the first week of December, if I didn't say that. They're hoping for a 24-hour shelter, but they've got a 12-hour shelter pretty much organized at this time. So, and let's see, going to give a CARES update. We had CARES Act number 1 and 2, small business distribution update. We had 37 businesses out of our 89 businesses that received assistance up between $10,000 and down to $1,000, depending on what they had other CARES money they had received or requested. So most of those checks are already out, and Yakima County Development Association has a deadline just like we had. They need to get all those checks out by the 30th. So if you haven't got your CARES Act distribution grant for small businesses, please contact them soon so you can get your agreement done and in. Let's see, Yakima County Commissioners tomorrow will be contemplating backfilling. They have some CARES money that they're going to be unable to get all the way dispersed by the deadline. They're contemplating backfilling these small city relief programs. So remember, we had 89 qualified businesses. We're helping about 37. So there's about 50 in there that need some assistance still. They may be able to come in and help assist those businesses also. They're going to prioritize businesses that are brick and mortar, that have actual business buildings first, and then if the money is still there, they may go back and do in-home businesses second. they want to help those businesses that have rent, lease, or mortgage or insurance on that building as an extra. They plan on picking up all the small businesses that didn't get help in all the cities in the valley, and not only Toppenish, but Sunnyside, Grandview, and like that. We should find out about that tomorrow. So that's about all I know about COVID right now. I shared that Public Works is getting the banners and the lighted decorations up. The Christmas tree will be on Photo Eye. I'd like to talk a little bit about city employment vacancies. There's a deputy city clerk position open. It closes Monday, the 30th. That position is responsible for performing technical, legal, administrative duties in managing the city's official records, fulfilling public records requests, and providing high-level confidential support to department directors. So if you qualify and you're interested in the deputy clerk position, please get your application into City Hall by close of business on Monday, November 30th. That's 5 p.m. We did have let's see, the police vacancies. Remember, we have 3 currently. We just had interviews last week, and we ended up with a lateral list of 6 and a entry level list of 17. So those are pretty large numbers. We haven't seen those in a while. PD is going after the evaluation of those applicants and get the testing started so we can fill those vacant positions that we have. Today, I think Mayor Pro Tem Elpidio was on the line. There was a COVID-19 press conference given by Joe Brusick, the Yakima County prosecutor, and Yakima County commissioners. And basically what they were voicing is their frustration and their concern over the latest 4-week closure by the governor. And so basically Yakima County prosecutor Brusick explained that the governor has those rights to do that and to levy those out as he sees fit in regards to I think it's RCW 4306. And those were started out back in 1918 and have been amended off and on throughout the years. And basically they're there to help for health or issues like that come up quickly. We're hoping that there's also a letter circulating by the commissioners for support to ask, basically to share with Governor Inslee our displeasure in another 4-week closure, shutdown of our small businesses and gyms. We figured that as a group that Yakima County, if you remember, was one of the worst counties in the United States. Then we took on the masking program, the testing program, and the social distancing program, and we were able to get ourselves moved up to be one of the safest counties in Washington State. And we got moved up to level 1.5. I don't think we ever got to level 2, but we're right in that zone. So they're looking for mayors to sign on to this letter to express as a sign of unity for Yakima County to be looked at closely and to be evaluated on the Yakima County merit rather than merits of all the counties in the state of Washington. So maybe we can get our businesses open sooner than later and give us an opportunity to progress higher up those COVID layers that we have. So more information as that matures. If you have any questions, please give me a call and we can discuss that. And that's about all I have tonight. So thank you.
Lance, would you be able to next meeting give us an update on the police chief position?
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything else to come before the council?
Just wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving. That'll be here Thursday.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah.
Same to you guys.
Yeah, I bought a
Keep your
turkey.
mask on, stay safe.
I bought a turkey that'll feed more than 6 people. Are they going to arrest me?
Not unless you eat it all.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
we're just getting
I have
ready
the
for
same problem.
winter, that extra weight. It's okay.
Be safe, everyone.
And before we adjourn, I would like to thank Administrative Services Director Debbie Zabel and her finance staff and all the department heads for the budget process to date. Everyone